What's up, guys? Got another review here for you. Today, tonight, wherever you're at in the world, we're going to be going over Dungeons of Sundaria. Picked this game up on a sale a few weeks back for like about $6, and that's honestly probably what it's worth. I don't think I'd pay a full price for this one, so if you're thinking about picking it up, definitely get it on a sale. I'm currently trying to get through the last few dungeons for the last achievements. On Nightmare difficulty, I have a level 100-something wizard, and have about 22.6 hours of playtime. And I'm going to jump in here to the game and go over a few things before we jump into the basics, like graphics, gameplay, story, and all that stuff. Because I'm going to go and show you a few things. So here's my wizard, level 114. One thing to note that the reason the color difference was there, I had an orange level instead of just a black text on my level. I hit the heroism, and at that point you get points, kind of like you did in Diablo 3 with like Paragon points, or you could put them into like spell damage, more health, like cooldown reduction, things like that. So this is the city. This game has really huge like 2000 vibes to me. This is the city. It's not like free roaming. You can just click on a building and go into it. So this is the inn. You can buy buffs here, like elixirs. Then over here you can buy some food buffs. It reminds me a lot of WoW, and a lot of things that are in the game remind me of World of Warcraft. If you go to the guardhouse, this captain gives you a lot of your quests as you're going through the game. This is a place to change, I think, race. Ivory Tower. You can come here and buy potions and elixirs.
Be careful.
And then the castle holds all of your class trainers, essentially. So you come here, this is the wizard, and you buy all of your spell ranks. I wish, honestly, this part, they would have kept going and allowing you to upgrade your spells. But I feel like, honestly, I'm already really overpowered at level 114. Here you got your blacksmith. Crafting was actually pretty good, I thought. It wasn't overly complex, and it wasn't too simple easy either. I didn't get into crafting any of like the elite gear or anything like that. But yeah, you can turn these materials here into the fragments, and then use your fragments to unlock these patterns, and then you go and you craft them through here. So yeah, and then you can do common, superior, rare, epic, legendary, or eternal, and then you craft and see what your outcome is. Salvaging, you can salvage items to get materials. There are set items as well for bonuses. You go here to upgrade your items here with these crystals here. These magical cores are used in the upgrading process. Yeah, so I thought the crafting overall was pretty good. And then when you want to go to the dungeons, you go here, and then here's your map of your different dungeons. So this is the town you start at. And then you go Crypt of Horrors, and you'll move throughout the rest of the dungeons as you progress through the story. And then once you do that, you can go and decide to challenge hard mode and eventually nightmare. I did nightmare at like level 100 on my wizard. I didn't have any problems. I don't know if it's just because a wizard is super overpowered, or if the scaling just isn't quite correct with how much your power creep goes up. So that's that. I think that's about all I wanted to cover there. So let's get into the graphics. I'm just going to put up some gameplay in the background as we discuss. So let me get that rocking here. And we'll just start here. All right, So, graphics. Guys, as you can kind of see and tell, it's nothing to write home about. They're not anything crazy. But I do think they were good. They served their purpose. Really gave me World of Warcraft vibes. And I thought, like, the armor looked good for the most part on the wizard. It fit the character style of a wizard. And I thought they did a good job with the armors, at least for the wizard. And I played a little bit of the cleric. The early armor looks good on the cleric. And I've seen some of the other later armors on other people's characters, and they look good. So the graphics aren't the best, obviously. I give graphics 6 out of 10. They look like they're back in the day, but it's intended to look that way. It's not supposed to be, like Unreal Engine blowing you away with the visuals. Sound and music, honestly, music I didn't even really notice. The sound is okay. It's definitely dated. It definitely feels like the sounds from like Nintendo 64 or maybe like Xbox era. It fits, it does the job. It's nothing spectacular. I give sound 5 out of 10. Characters and story, honestly, I didn't really pay attention. This was kind of a game that I was just hacking and slashing through dungeons and having a good time. The story that I did catch from the dialogue didn't seem all that crazy interesting. Pretty much find the bad man, trying to take over, destroy the world, and go kill the bad man. You'll see a lot of references and things to other games that you have played. I saw a reference to a NPC from World of Warcraft in this game, and it's escaping my memory right now, and I didn't write it down. I'm kicking myself. But there is some like flavor in this game as far as some things you might see like, oh, isn't that character from this game, or isn't that thing from this game? It's just kind of funny. But characters and story, I give a 2 out of 10. I mean, there's not even really that many characters you interact with besides the enemies you're killing, and that's just a lot of one-liners like, I'm gonna kill you, like. But it is what it is, right? It's not a story game. Gameplay is obviously where this game shines. I give gameplay 6 out of 10. Still not the best score because it is very repetitive, and I'm honestly just going through the last couple of Nightmare dungeons to get the achievements. But it is good, I'm glad I didn't give up on this game because I almost did after I went through and played the first dungeon. Because the first dungeon didn't really draw me in, and I didn't feel like it was done very well. Also, I wasn't ever directed, at least that I can remember. I probably was directed to the class trainer at some point. I just spaced it out. But once I learned about the class, can't even think of what I'm searching for here. The class trainer. Once I found the class trainer, it opened up the game a lot more because I'm like, oh, I can upgrade my spells. That's cool. I can get a power creep. I can feel like my character getting stronger. As well as the crafting. Once I started messing around with the crafting and the upgrading of your weapons and armor, it definitely opened up a whole different side of this game. But once I had all that stuff maxed out, I'm like, okay, well, my gear's like really good. I have all of my class trainers skills and abilities trained. I went through hard mode, beat all the dungeons. Well, I didn't. And then now I'm working on Nightmare. The gameplay really is where it shines. It's still super repetitive. Like I said, if you're going to get this game, pick it up on a little like $6 sale. Play it with some friends. Have a good time. Have some laughs. And go about your day. Bugs and cons of this game. So, you see this little mini map right up here? They need a big map. I wish I could hit M button and open up a big map. That would be amazing. But for whatever reason, this is the only map you get. The mini map is done fairly well. I'll give them that. But I want a bigger map because there's at times where you get kind of turned around and lost. And I'm like, well, shit, which way did I come from? It'd be nice if I had a big map to look at. There was weird stuttering in places on this game, and I didn't really figure out why. I don't know if it was just those certain areas of the map or the dungeon. The ragdoll effects when you killed enemies was ridiculous. You would get enemies like flying across the map and they're just sitting there like spinning. This is just kind of a note. It's not a bug or a con. Grasslands was probably one of my favorite dungeons. If you do get this game, I encourage you to check that dungeon out, which you will if you play through the quest. I also liked the last dungeon where you go after the final boss. I did like that one as well. The other thing that's weird is you can only jump like 2 inches off the ground. Like your character can't jump at all. You got no ups. So that was kind of annoying. I don't know if they did that for like exploit reasons because they didn't want people just jumping, skipping parts of the areas and maps. Replayability, like I said earlier, it does get super repetitive, but you can always jump back into this game, run a dungeon, you know, or if you got a buddy that gets on every once in a while and this is the game that you guys play together, jump on, run a dungeon together, you know, and then switch games, get off, do whatever. For me personally, once I get the achievements, going on the shelf, collecting dust, moving on to the next one. But I am glad that I finally picked this game up. I do encourage you, if you do like World of Warcraft games, ARPGs, RPG games, any game where you can build a character, level up a character, feel the power creep, I encourage you to give it a shot, but don't spend the full price. Wait for it to go on sale. Pick it up. Have some fun. But that's all I got for you. Let me know down in the comments if you have played Dungeons of Sundaria, what you think of it. Did you hate it? Did you love it? Were you somewhere in between like myself? Thanks for stopping by. Please like, subscribe. Have a good day or night wherever you're at in the world. Much love, and we will see you on the next one.